Hey Legionnaires, and welcome back with another NTW 3 battle for you today, and this is a glorious 4v4 with a huge line battles and cavalry fights involved. It's going to be a glorious one. We have some interesting factions here today on the map Wagram. Here we have Baden, well Werdenberg is Baden and Werdenberg really, I guess, in I think it's in like vanilla, they're like called Baden and Werdenberg. But they are here, Werdenberg. We also have Poland on the left hand side, and we have two French armies. We have the Spanish expedition into France, and we have the 1808 France as well. Facing them today, as there's already a little bit of a cavalry fight going on, we can see some Baden Jaegers here just taking out some Kazakh cavalry from 1805 to 1807 Russia. There is another Russian army here today. We have the Life Guard Russians of 1812. So that's a really strong faction. They've got some good infantry. See some of their elite guards down here. It's basically like the Imperial Guard, but for Russia. Basically, is this faction. You can see, so we've got some nice guards there. We also have Britain here, 1815 Britain, led by Roland Hill, and then on the far left over here, facing most of the French forces, we have Sweden. Yeah, we have the Swedes. But yeah, they are sending off some infantry here. Look at this poor infantry, just chasing off all this cavalry. The cavalry, if it was smart, could just turn around and maybe kill this unit. But I mean, maybe it's just a bait for all this this Russian and Swedish cavalry that is waiting in I don't know what I was about to say actually. You know what? Forget what I was about to say. Waiting in the wings is what I was going to say, I think. But I just had a mind blank. But we can see there's some cavalry, some French cavalry here. Was the Chasseur Cheval really dashing? Maybe trying to get these this artillery piece, but I don't think it's going to have any luck. Trying to go for the artillery piece. May just want to be a bit more patient. Maybe wait until this infantry line's a bit more thinned out. But the Swedish infantry, not known for being very good. There's just a lot of it. You see there's a lot of like Landwehr or like Landwehr. I presume that's like their Landwehr. And then we have like some better infantry in front here. These are a bit better, but they're still a bit rubbish. I don't know if they've got any like their guards. I'm not really sure. Their guards are a little bit better. But I honestly, I don't really have much belief in this Swedish infantry to stop the French. I don't think that's a very good matchup. Maybe Sweden would have been better against like Baden, maybe. But then again, Baden's got to face like the Guard Russians, which is obviously again not a great matchup. The Poles obviously have got like a lot of cavalry on this side, probably more than the British and like the Russians. British, I mean, aren't really appearing yet. They are like appearing and disappearing on this flank. So they are clearly going to be facing the Poles. I can hear movement of like artillery and stuff, but not any sign of it yet. But it looks like the battle is slowly about to get underway. Who's getting shot here? Oh, some artillery, some Uhlans getting shot here. They're getting shot and they might get charged by some Poles in a moment. The Poles have also got an artillery piece up to a 6-pounder up to here, and they're just putting holes into this cavalry. I mean, they could just push on. They have got to take this village ahead of them. It's going to be a pretty hard one to take. There is a lot of guards in there. So I certainly feel like the weak way in is going to be this Swedish force. But here we go. Here come the French cavalry going in for their artillery. And they are going to be broken before the artillery can be stopped. But they are going to obviously, like, the crew and stuff like and all the horses are going to run off. So this kind of artillery piece is stuck here now. So I guess that's like a small victory for the French, but not really. But there you go. But if you're enjoying seeing NTW3, oh my gosh, I thought that. Oh, okay. Just my like. Okay, the French also sent some like the Swedes and the Russians sent some cavalry off to take out this infantry here. Took out that light infantry. That might return. I don't know. You can see the French are pretty angered by that. And look at all this cavalry ready. All this cavalry, and they've got infantry here as well. Got a lot of like light infantry. But yeah, if you're enjoying seeing NTW3 on the channel at the moment and like to see some more, and you haven't already, feel free to leave a like, subscribe if you're around here, and a comment show your support. And make sure you hit that bell button as well, so you know when the next NTW3 battle is out, and you can be the first to see it. You can see all this light infantry here getting ready, and this is going to be some pretty good infantry to duel with the Swedes. I mean, they'll have the range as well. They got some chasseurs out here as well, actually. And these are pretty good. These are like. Almost, I think he's like chasseurs of the guard, almost, basically. So there's some pretty good units. They might do a lot of good work here. Yeah, this is 1808 France, so they probably have like some guard units in it. They're going to be taking on the Swedes, and I'm sure the Swedes are not ready for this. They may have like over 200 men per unit, but That doesn't mean it's a good unit. If anything, that means quite the opposite. There you go. Swedes are opening fire. And the French are doing the same on this side. These hardened veterans already, the 1805-1808 campaign, they're in many a battle. One more doesn't matter to them. There you go. They're already sending in. And their cavalry's going back in. They're going after that goddamn artillery again. It's that chasseur unit again. It's returned. They might actually shoot and kill their own crew here if they're not careful, the Swedes. Yeah, they both broke. And for the French, they're fine with that probably. That gun crew being gone is a big win. For the French, yeah, you can see already the Swedes giving ground. Artillery already coming in. Howitzer here. Who's firing the howitzer? That's also the Swedes. The Swedes have a howitzer. That could be useful to help damage morale. The French are actually losing this one here. This unit here is getting pretty banged up on the side. So who knows? Who knows? But yeah, this is where the first bit of action is going on. The rest of the flanks not yet really got involved. Baden and oh, I keep calling them Baden. Edinburgh and Poland are yet to really engage. Looks like it is going to be the French that are going to be first in. Got some cavalry. They need to be careful with all this Russian and Swedish cavalry. I'm surprised they haven't brought theirs up. Get a bit closer, just in case they need to use it. You can see that the Spanish army of like the French army of Spain is now also getting a move on. These are like a later period France, so they have like different shakos and stuff like that. So I prefer this France, to be honest, and they have some really big cavalry units as well. They are actually over here, but I mean they got one here. This is an 80-man unit. This is Lancers of the Vistula. That's a Polish Lancer unit. So we've got more Poles in the French army, let alone just in the Polish army. And then there's this unit here, 199 dragoons. It's a division of dragoons. It's a huge unit. See, the French are putting a lot of units are going to go around this little building here, and they're going to try and outflank the Swedes, which is a really nice little move there. And you see the Swedes are already falling back. They're not quite happy with what's going on, which is fair enough. They're getting shelled quite a bit, these French. There you go, you can see what's coming in. The Hussars coming in. They're going to harass these Swedes as they run away. And they're falling back, and they might break, you know. They should have persisted, I think, there. That unit might have broken. Looks like the Russians are going to reply with a small unit of Uhlans, possibly. They might go for this, yeah, they're going for this Polish Voltigeur, I think. Voltigeurs of the Legion of the Vistula. Yeah, a few shots coming off. Not enough, though. The officer's going to desperately fire. You can see these Uhlans. Probably going to get stopped, though, by this line infantry here that's just standing here. It's not going to be a great charge for the Uhlans, yeah. Don't think the Uhlans are going to win that one. It was probably the most unenthusiastic charge I've ever seen. And it looks like the Swedes went in for a charge themselves with their infantry and got routed, as they would, by all this French infantry who stood here waiting. And the Swedes, as you can see, already on the retreat. Kind of expected that. Kind of expected that one, but Britain and Russia have yet to really get involved in the fight. They might be able to defeat the Polish. The Polish haven't got great infantry either. It's like average, but it's not like amazing. Britain may have the ability to break these guys, but they may not be the greatest, but they're by far and away my favorite looking faction. I just love the Poles in the Napoleonic period. They are just a glorious, glorious faction. Long live Poland, is what I gotta say. It's a shame it's not the real thing in this period. It's like the Grand Duchy of Warsaw. It's like the best they ever got. But I mean, they got some certainly weaker units over here. These are the units that are just like National Guard, I believe. So yeah, 191 men in like their units. They're just National Guard. They're nothing impressive. So certainly this right flank here for the Polish, very, very weak. I mean, they can see they've got some line infantry and grenadiers in behind ready. Got some big grenadier units, 111. They're ready to basically bulk up that flank there if anything goes wrong, which I'm sure it will. I can hear charging somewhere. Oh, the Poles have sent... I didn't think I could hear some. Poles sent in some cavalry to break that 6-pounder. That's a big unit of Uhlans to send in. Risk that. It's 90 men. They broke at 60. I mean, they have got plenty more, but they don't want to just throw away these units. That might return. You don't know. Hard to say. But we'll go back over to this side where the fighting is still intensifying. The Swedes still desperately firing, and they're now behind like their stake lines. So maybe a bit more protected now from any carry charges. What we got here? We got a lifeguard unit. This is Cuirassier here, and we also have Bennington here, who's their general. The Russians have now bringing over a lot of their infantry here as well. You can see the Russians are now going to start to strengthen this line with the 1807 army. We've got some Russian-Prussian musketeers here. A weird hybrid. You have to have a Russian dad and a Prussian mother, and then you can join that unit. No, I presume not. That'd be quite funny though. These I don't know what unit that is, but that's maybe a Hussar unit that's gone there. I think this has been routed by all these Spanish infantry, trying to go for a charge. I think they were chasing down these lancers here, these German lancers. I think they were luring back that cavalry. And that was a nice little play there by the French. They got like a bit of a V for victory going on here. And you can see the cavalry now going in for the Russians. They're going in with their lifeguard cuirassiers. They're going in for the line infantry. They might break some of this stuff, but like the morale's looking pretty solid at the moment for the French. Looks like that was a pretty poor charge, mainly because they charged through their own lines, I think. Slowed down any sort of possible charge. And the French managed to get a couple of volleys off in return. Looks like all of this cavalry here as well is still waiting. Look at this. I can't wait for this. There's another huge unit here. Look at this. Cuirassiers, 151. These are huge. There's like 300 men worth of cavalry just here alone. And they have more. And there's some good cavalry as well. All the Poles are in behind. The Poles are in behind. They've got some Uhlans and they are in behind and they're attacking the Russians. Okay, so they're trying to go after more guns, I think. The Poles are now up. You can see they've got their guard, their National Guard in the front line. The Poles did break, unfortunately. No surprise, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. They got another one here. They need to be careful they don't lose this one as well. They have got like lots of Poles like way in behind. There's Dragoon Guards over here. They might want to go and like help support this light Dragoon. I don't know whether the Poles are going to take it out. I don't really know. But they need to be careful that the Poles don't just go and throw away all this cavalry, because this is what they're strong in. If they go and throw away their strength, there's just no point being here. You're like another Sweden. You're just here for the fun. But the Russian Guard are now in combat. They're now fighting a bit of a combo of the Spanish army, the Spanish-French army, and the and Wettenberg. You can see the two-headed eagle looking east and west. They're ready to fight for their Tsar. These men are elites as well. They're not gonna fall down anytime soon. They're gonna hold the line. I mean, they're reorganizing. They're advancing in the wrong direction. The Guards can never retreat. They're merely advancing in the wrong direction. But yeah, Wettenberg's putting up a decent fight here against these guys. They're a pretty strong like unit, like weaker faction. I don't know how many points they're like. 5 or 6 or something like that, I believe. I can't exactly remember what every faction's like worth in points, but they're not worth a lot, but they're quite effective. And look at this by the Poles. They've got their guns right up close. Mixed it in their infantry line. And this should be really, really nice, what we're about to see here. Nice little volley. And they're going to go straight for these British infantry. The foot guards ahead of them as well. That one certainly made a hole in the line. What was I hit? I hit a lot of foot guards there. That's a shame for the British, because their foot guards are really, really good. Some of their best infantry. They've also got their artillery really close, but I mean, the best thing they can hit is either the other artillery. I mean, they can shoot all this big blob of stuff that's just kind of combined here. That would not be a bad idea. Or this National Guard, which is just kind of a waste of time. The Swedes seem to certainly stabilize a little bit. Seems like now that they've got like the Russians on either flank, they seem a bit more stern. Oh my gosh, I've been missing the massive cav fight. Look at this. What is going on here? What is going on? Alright, so there's all sorts in here. It just seems like it's become a stalemate of who's got the more heavy cav. The Russians seem like they're losing more, but they lost a lot of Prussian musketeers. The French have got some hussars out here. They need to get them back in. We've got Victor Perrin out here. I don't know why I got their general so close. This cuirassier unit is very close to breaking. That's a concern. You can see, just look at all the cuirassiers. Yeah, that Russian cuirassier broke. That's a 61-man unit that's still alive. That's gone. And what's left here then? It's another lifeguard cuirassier here. But I don't think it's going to stop all of these dragoons. There's just so many of them. There's like too many, one may say. What we got over here? Some cuirassiers of Sweden. Some dragoons coming in as well. They might be able to change the battle. Here we go. In come the Dragoons. It's quite confusing a bit. I bet it was quite confusing in history because both Russian and French Dragoons were dressed in green. But that's a bit confusing. But the Cuirassiers, yeah, I mean, oh yeah, there you go. Look at that. Dragoons breaking 114. They broke. They might return. You got some chasseurs that peed up here. Don't know if they're about to form square. I don't know whether they need to. Are they? Yeah, the French are falling back their cav. The French have had enough. That introduction of the new fresh cav from the Russians is enough to stop them. The Cuirassiers as well. They need to be careful. They don't lose too many men as they retreat, and certainly don't want to lose any friendly fire. Got the chasseurs here. They're forming square. There's a very loose square now. And they're now firing onto the Russian Dragoons on either side of them. And yeah, it looks like they just want to get back. They want to get this this division of Dragoons rallied again. They certainly need to. Though the Swedes might not allow them. Swedes may not allow them. Where's all the French other cav gone? They've got more in the center here. They've got another corps of Dragoons here. 93 men here. Another unit here. So they might want to just start getting them involved. Look how close the French are getting, though. So like the Swedes, point blank volleys going on here. And the Swedes are starting to break. They're getting very, very close to the French, and that accuracy is just showing. And the Russian guards falling back. And look at this. Werdenberg has broken through. With Prussia, they've broken through. And Britain's kind of, I think, at fault for that. He's fallen back in a certain way that's allowed a big gap to appear in the line. It's now going to cut off the Russian guard and the British from each other. You see Werdenberg here now doing his best to basically take advantage of this. He's now shooting at any basically Russian unit in the... look at this. Russian guard breaking his 66 men. His morale's really low. They're getting outgunned a bit. They've got units in the Russians, and they've got some Swedes in there. Here we go, Werdenberg. The Germans fighting for the French. Nice volley there. What we got here? We got some Werdenberg cavalry. They look like they're going to try and go for some of these Jaegers, or these certainly these light infantry here. Yeah, and they got a decent charge there. These guys may break. Never know. Yeah, they broke. They may return. Some of these units, may return. Like infantry's more likely, I find, to return than cavalry. But let's see. Talking about that, did that big unit of Dragoons return? It did. The Dragoon did return. That is very reassuring for the French. They're going to need that. Because there's still a lot of work to do. Still a lot of Russians to kill. The Swedes, you can see, are in full retreat. They have had enough. They've lost quite a lot of infantry. It's going to force the 1807 Russia back. And yeah, Britain is certainly in a bit of a pickle here. He's got himself isolated. He's facing the Polish line infantry off now. And these majestic men will do their best. They're fighting for their country's freedom. I can hear some sort of charging going on. Oh, they're charging the guns. The British guns have been evacuated because some National Guard have gone charging in. All it is National Guard. If the British put a good volley into these guys, they'll probably do an alright job. There you go. Oxfordshire Lightfoot here. They need to do the damage. Put a good volley into them. Send them packing, boys. No. Apparently not. And what's going on back here? It's all sorts of a mess. Just in this rear line here. They really need to set up a new line. It looks like the Swedes maybe like going to have to transfer some troops across. I certainly think that 1807 Russia certainly needs to be starting to narrow his flank. His flank's far too wide, I think, and they're going to need more troops in the center. And you can see this. The French are just pushing forward relentlessly now. Got the corps of like Dragoons coming forward. They're going to keep pushing forward. I mean, they're looking just for an option when a big like gap in the line opens and there's no cavalry behind to support. And we've got Werdenberg in here. He's fighting he sent some grenadiers in, some grenadier guard. So he sent some of his best boys in to deal with these guards of Russia and some Swedish unit, which I'm not quite sure what that is. But he sent them in. Got some Landwehr here. You should send them in as well. They're the best of the best, I'm sure. They are slowly taking this village, as you can see. The Swedes still hold the building. They've got some lifeguard in here of their own. So this is some of their best cav. Looks like the Swedes going to go for this Wittenberg unit here in this village. Got some dragoons here. I don't think it's the greatest charge, so I would have let Wittenberg should have been alright in combat there. If not, he's got some Jaegers back here. He could just use the support. He's going to go back in. Smart move, I think. I don't think this is a great charge by Sweden.
Our men are running, sir.
Men are breaking. Okay, so Poland's like rear unit, final rear unit over here has been broken. Poland's not really had a great time with his cavalry, I don't personally think, in this game. Not really seeing any major charges. His infantry's doing quite well. He's still got cavalry, obviously. Got some decent cavalry units as well left. Even the French is like very disappointed in like what's happening with the Polish cavalry and transferred his own Poles across to this side. His Lancers of the Vistula. He's had enough. Now the Poles are sending their grenadiers. They have broken the Russians in here, but the Swedes still hold on with 15 men against 67. Absolute madmen. It looks like they're going to try. Looks like the Poles again going to send their crasses in. This time I'm going to go for this light infantry. That can form square, I think. I think it attempted to there. I'm not really sure what it attempted to do. But there you go. More howitzers going off. The building has been captured. I presume that's this building. Yeah, the Poles, the grenadiers of Poland have taken that building. They can now support their allies and start firing onto this Krassia unit here. And yeah, look at this. This dragoon should have got out of here long ago. This charge was just terrible. Not a good charge. You can see the French are still pushing on hard. And the Russians are in danger of being cut off now. You can see 1808 France may soon cut off the Russians. And they've got like very little cavalry left. Certainly not enough to deal with the big units of cavalry of France that is still looming around. They still have their divisions of dragoons and their cuirassiers over here. Looking very dangerous. Again, they've also got like, look at this. What are the Russians doing? Get your cavalry out of the infantry of Sweden. Allow the Swedes to fire. Because otherwise, your cavalry's getting shot first by the French infantry, and B, the Swedes can't fire. Yeah, what's going on here? Why have they got their cavalry so close? I don't know. The Poles are charging in with their grenadiers, and their cavalry they're going after, routing those foot guards. Foot guards routing there as well. They've got dragoon guards coming in though. The finest of the British cavalry coming in, and they're going to rout those grenadiers. They may then go on and rout these other guys. This cavalry might rout that other grenadier as well. Need to be careful. The Poles can't be too careful about throwing everything away. The enemy still has a fair amount of stuff. Sweden here occasionally firing. At least Russia's got that cavalry out of his line of sight now. I mean, but the thing is that Swedish infantry is just not going to be able to stop these guys. Apparently, all hope is lost, but I don't believe it is. I think there's always a chance, and also that's coming from the view of the French. So I don't know what he's chatting about. But the French are sending their lancers now, their Polish lancers. They're routing those cuirassiers, and they can go after these guns. I think that's what they wanted to go after initially. Was these Swedish guns. They've got like a tiny little unit of infantry that's going to try and stop them. But yeah, I think there you go. The Poles are going after the cannon crew. They're going to mercilessly stab them with those lancers. And they need to be careful. To the Allies, big gap in the line here. I think one charge from this division of dragoons routs this unit, and then he's in behind, and he can just then start to hammer and anvil all of these units if he chose to. The French, I don't think, should hold up. They should carry on charging. We've got some attacks here. We've got Benningsen's under attack. Oh dear, the general for 1807 Russia is now under threat. He's now being saved by the dragoons of Riga, but he is dead, as you can see. And the dragoons, Royal Dragoons, these guys are. Royal Dragons, actually they're called. But they are being cleared off by the... actually, wow. The Russians broke, and they were the ones chasing the French. There you go. The Russians also lost here. The Lifeguard cuirassiers got beaten by the cuirassiers of France. And look at this. Because of their general going, Russia's now in a mass rout. 1807 Russia is in a shape. And there you go. The French have gone in with their division of dragoons. And they've gone in and just smashed this Swedish line. Along with some infantry. They sent in some Marines of the Guard. It's a cool unit. And some sappers and miners. And they've gone in. They're a hard bunch, those two units. And they've broken those Swedes. And that's probably going to be the battle, I think. Like, it's only Britain that remains and a bit of Russia. But I thought they just got smashed through the center. Did the Swedes and like the Russians. Like the Russian Guard, what happened to them? I have no idea. They just kind of like died in this village here. They never got out. But you can see that Baden's done a really good job dealing with a far superior faction. And you can see here now that we have some infantry coming up from the Polish. It's going to try and duel out with these Brits here. Some Cornwall troops, some loyal Lincoln volunteers. My boys from Lincoln. Fighting on hard. I don't know why the guns have gone silent now. An interesting move. There you go. Maybe they put their silencers on. That's maybe why they're losing, the Allies. They just not got their taking the silencers off. Yeah, the British are in a rough state here. It also doesn't help that there's cavalry like lingering around. They're actually also seeing some cavalry. We've got some light dragoons here. They're going to go in. What are they going in for? They're going in for these National Guard. How this National Guard, by the way, has not died, I have no idea. What's breaking? Actually, the Polish broke here in this duel. They have actually okay, traded 2 for 1. That's not too bad from the Poles. But you can see that the French is mopping up everything over here. The Russians beating these 1807 Russians up, and this isn't the last time that they'll be fighting the French as well. They'll have to fight them again in a few years' time, but in their own homeland. It's gonna be a sad, sad sight when that happens, especially for the French when they're all freezing their asses off. Got the Royal Dragoons here. They're still healthy, or fairly healthy.
Our men are running, sir.
Maybe one last glorious charge for Britain, for king and country, men. Let's go for the French general. Oh gosh, this loyal Lincoln volunteer getting shelled to pieces. These guys did not sign up for this. Yeah, you got the Poles here firing again. We're in silence. Don't know why, but there's no guns firing. There we go. Who's this? Got some light infantry from Wittenberg. I love their uniforms. Wittenberg's got some really nice uniforms. Again, they're going silent though. The guns are going silent. They're also getting shot on the flank of these guys. It's Nottinghamshire units here. So I'm just going to fast forward now. There's not very much left. We've got the Swedish general, and looks like the United Kingdom dragoons, and that's about it really. There's a load of stuff here as well. They've got sappers and miners in here. Lots of sappers and miners in this building. Why bring 3 units of sappers and miners? I don't know. Rowland Hill's been right. I don't know why they didn't put Rowland Hill in this farmhouse. Saved him from a grisly death. Looks like some light dragoons getting cleaned up by the Polish cavalry. Polish cavalry, I wouldn't have said had a great day today. Wouldn't have said it had the finest of days. But it did what it did. It certainly probably lured a few units into areas that it did not want to be. Like the English certainly didn't have enough cavalry to stop all the Polish cavalry. So there was certainly weakened. And I mean, I don't know. The British, I don't know really how much cavalry they did bring. It seems to have evaporated in this area over here. How much they did bring. They seem to have brought, this is their biggest unit here. This Dragoon Guard. They had like a few smaller units of light dragoons. It seems, but like nothing like substantial to stop like all of this French and Polish cav. And yeah, that's just kind of paid. And as you can see, that we're gonna just now go to the final few units. I don't know if the sappers are still in here. I think they might be. Just the lost sight, like the view. I don't really know, but there you go. There's still a few units. The British are just holding out. It's just a matter of time before they get murdered. The Swedes are still in that building all the way over here as well. That's unfortunate for that lifeguard. They're just getting a lot of musket fire poured on them. Put it like that. These Marines of the Guard might get sent in. And their silence. House is just silent. This battlefield is a silent place. Silent hill. As everyone's just firing, but no shots to be heard. This is the future of Napoleonic warfare. Silence. There you go. They're going in. You would have thought these lifeguards would have probably called it a day. I don't know. There's 65 of them left. They can send some of those chasseurs in. They'd probably be pretty good. They're sending in sappers and miners. They'll probably do a good job. Yeah, I don't know. Morale's topsy-turvy a bit at the moment, as you can see. But I hope you guys have enjoyed it. It's certainly been an enjoyable one. It's been, I wouldn't say the closest to one, but it's really fun, obviously, to come and watch more Napoleonic action. Being a big Napoleonic fan myself, there you go, there's Dragoon Guards gone. I certainly think that, like, the mistake was probably in faction choice. I think Sweden just not a strong faction, or like, it has to be used by a good player. I'm not saying he was a bad player, just that it suits some players better than others. Does Sweden? The Sappers and Miners actually have left this building, or some of them have. There is still one on some light company in here. I would have put the Sappers back in there, to be honest, to keep them safe. But yeah, if the French just charge them now, they can just route most of that stuff and then just send an infantry unit in here, some decent infantry, maybe some grenadiers or something like that. I don't know if they have any available. But send them in there and they'll route the light company very easily. And that's Britain then gone. But yeah, I certainly think that, and also possibly like the choice of Guard Russia. Guard Russia is clearly very expensive, and like his infantry just got evaporated, which is really bizarre because he was facing a weaker faction than him in Weddenburg. But yeah, his cavalry, I guess, was needed elsewhere, was needed on that flank to help against the French, and so he wasn't able to use it in his own area, so then his infantry, I guess, just got overwhelmed in time. Maybe that's just the case, I don't know. It's hard to say, but certainly like they had a very small army here facing an average-sized Wettenberg, and like this Swedish army here just was outclassed by the French. I think if Sweden had gone up against Wettenberg, may have had a chance. Even to go against Poland may have had a better chance, because their infantry is so awful as well. It would be the battle of the two poor infantry armies. Sappers, what are you doing? Get back inside the building, man. It's not safe to be out here. They're gonna. It looks like they're gonna go for a charge on these light infantry. Not light infantry. These National Guard. Which fair enough, because this National Guard deserves to die. It just had no right to survive the entire battle.
Our men are
there you go.
running,
They're breaking
sir.
now. As I say, there's some more here, but I don't think they'll break those ones. And I think they've taken the building. Yep, the building's been taken by the Sappers and Miners. The Swedes have been evicted. And I don't know what they're shooting at now. Oh, they're just shooting at the retreating guys. Alright, get the Grenadiers up and just help deal with these British. Once and for all. There we go. Just fast forward, you can see they're going to rear charge these guys here with cavalry. These poor. Yeah, Polish seeing a nice opportunity just to get some more kills. The Royal Sappers can form square though. Don't know if it's going to be enough. Who knows? Who knows? The Sappers are they're reforming now. I guess that's the thing. You can form square, but then you get shot by infantry. It's a nasty curse there. You got some Oxfordshire light foot in there, light company as well. It's going to take a little bit of time to break through that. There you go. The Sappers gone. Now they can assault this building. The division of dragoons still out. That's also another thing. The French had like huge units of like cavalry, and I'm sure these guys are really, really elite. To a certain extent anyway, not really elite. So yeah, like they were outnumbered in that way, put it like that. They were outnumbered in cavalry, in units and men. I don't think, like, probably there were a few 100-man units for the cuirassiers, like for the lifeguards and stuff like that, but like nothing, like not enough. They had like 300 dragoons and cuirassiers on that right flank at the start of that battle, plus other assorted things that seemed to be moving all over the place. Wherever it was needed. And here you go, you can see the British are just getting fired upon here. I'm just going to fast forward or just make a cut for you guys. Probably going to make a cut because I don't think anything's going to happen here for a little while. So yeah, I'll make a cut. So oh well, actually, let's just watch the murder of. Let's watch the murder of this King's German Legion. It's late to the battle, guys. Come on, typical Germans turning up late, and they're going to get punished by these line infantry here. A volley from the British. There we go. One last huzzah. I don't think it's going to be enough though. They're going to swivel. They're going to get flanked in a moment. Yeah, I mean, it looks like the French are just not going to give them like any breather. Here we go. Yeah, getting charged in. Infantry and cavalry coming in, and there you go, the murder of that poor King's German Legion. And they've taken the building. I didn't even realize. Wow. Okay, what did they send in? How did the National Guard get in? Seriously? You took the building? Oh, for God's sake. Who's left then? Oh, this British unit over here. Royal sappers and miners returned. Just rout them, Poland. Rout these poor men. Put them out of their misery. But yeah, that's going to be the end of the battle. I don't need to make a cut or really fast forward too much then. I mean, we'll just fast forward, just watch these guys get, run down. Poor British. And that's going to be the battle, I think. I can't see any of the units on the battlefield. I think that's basically everything. If it's not, then I'm going to be very puzzled as to... there we go, yep. There's the battle. And yeah, this one was sent in by Templar, who was playing as Poland. A very good battle. It was enjoyable to watch. And I don't think really like at any point the Allies were in control of that battle. They certainly got overwhelmed. But yeah, so well done to Leg Romanus, to Templar, to Tintin, and to Pyrrhus, who were all playing as like the French and their allies. Who got the most kills? Pyrrhus here got the most kills as 1808. France here did very well. Nearly like every man that he deployed got a kill. That's very impressive. Tintin, who's playing as French, like the Spanish expedition to France, got a lot of kills as well. 1900 here, and then Templar. Like for the size of his army, he did not get like as many kills. A lot of this though was like National Guard, and like Leg Romanus did very well for Wittenberg, getting over 1,000 kills. Only one to get over 1,000 kills was the British, commanded by Hoel down here. Panda, who's playing... Oh no, actually, wait a minute. What am I on about? Also the Swedes. The Swedes got over 1,000 kills as well. I do apologize, Panda, who was playing as Sweden. He did very well. Look at the size of his army, 3,000 men. Yeah, those big infantry units do not necessarily serve you so well. And then you got Imperator here, who was playing as the Guard Russians. And then you got Le Catalan here, who's playing as the other Russians, between them getting about 1,000 kills. Poor Russians did not have an easy game, and yeah, the Guard Russian army was pretty small. It's the smallest of the Allied armies. Actually, the smallest of any of the armies on the battlefield, and it kind of showed. I feel like numbers in the end were enough to overwhelm them and get around the flanks and do a lot of nasty like flanking volleys. But there you go, guys. If you enjoyed, then do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and a comment to show your support. Always very much appreciated. And there you go. If you want to have a look at the kills, there are the kills. Infantry doing the best for Poland, which is a strange one, but there you go. And until next time, Legionnaires, I will see you in the next battle. Bye for now.